Hey guys, welcome to CloudZone Academy. Today we will learn how to create a Linux server through Azure portal. I have already talked about how to sign up for free trial, so I am not going to repeat once again. Now, once you have logged in to Azure portal, you can see all the resources provided by Microsoft Azure. On the left hand side, there are other options. You can click on it and you will find the related resources provided by Azure. In this video, we are going to create a Linux server. So, click on virtual machine. Click on add and again virtual machine. This is our template asking for certain information and we need to provide it. The first one is subscription. So select the valid subscription. In my case, it is a free trial. Okay. So next is resource group. So what is a resource group? Resource group is a container in which metadata for a logical group of resource is stored for various purposes like resource management, cost management, operation management, governance, security, etc. etc. So click on create new and give it a name RG1. Then virtual machine name. Give it a name My Linux VM. Region. So region allows us to select the location where we want our VM to be located. However, under a free trial, it is advisable that we should go with East US. So I will select East US. Then there is a availability option. So there are two options, zone and set. Zone. In case of zone, running a VM with one or more copy on a different AZ. So one or more copy will get created and it on a different AZ, different availability zone. Whereas in case of availability set, running a VM with one or more copy on a different hardware but within the same availability zone. That means within the same data center, but the hardware will be different. So select availability zone AZ, and we have three other options to select. These are the different area of availability zone where we can locate our server. Then there is an image. Select Ubuntu server. Okay, it is the OS. Then we move to Azure Spot instance. So what does Spot instance means? It means that if we select yes, then the VM will run only when there is unused capacity on Azure infrastructure for a particular region. Otherwise, your VM will get deallocated. Okay, so we are not going to select yes and we will continue with no. And there is a size. So what is this? It is about the configurations of our VM. We have a different configuration with different price set. So I am going with a basic one. Then there is an authentication type. Okay, SSH public key and password. Continue or select SSH public key. Then username, give it a name, Azure admin. Okay, then there is a SSH public key source generate. Yes, I didn't have any, so generate. Keep your name, you can change, but I am good with this one. Then there is a public inbound port. Allow selected port. Click on allow selected port. Then selected inbound port. Select SSH22. Now click on next. Under disk template, we have two types of disk: OS disk and data disk. So what is it? Say, OS disk is basically attached with your server and is used for booting purpose. Whereas the company data, the business data, the customer data or the transactional data are kept on a storage which is kept separate from the server and basically attached with storage switches. Why? The question is why? Because if the server get corrupted, then the data will be lost if the data is kept on OS disk. Whereas if our business data, transactional data or customer data are kept on a data disk which is separate unit and attached through storage switches, okay, in such a case, if server is failure, the data will not get affected. Okay, this is the reason that we have a OS disk and is basically used for booting purpose, and there is a data disk where we actually keep our business data, transactional data, customer data. Okay. OS disk type. So we can select a different type of disk for our OS. There are standard SSD, standard SSD and standard and premium SSD. Okay. And these are differ in terms of IOPS, latency, throughput, and definitely the cost is also differ because of the performance. Then there is an encryption type. We have encryption at rest with platform managed key, encryption at rest with customer managed key, okay, and both. So what is encryption at rest means? It means data is encrypted only when on a disk. Okay. By default, managed disk uses platform managed key, and all managed disk, snapshot, image and data are automatically encrypted at rest with platform managed key. This is a default option, platform managed key. Okay. And customer managed key will give you the opportunity to choose to manage encryption at level of each managed disk with your own key. Okay. So we are going to continue with the default one. Okay. Now click on next. We are good with the default option. Okay. Under management, we have boot, Diagnostic. So what is boot diagnostic? It is a debugging feature for VM that allows diagnosis of VM boot failure. So we are going to select enable with custom storage account. Okay, and we need to create a storage account under a diagnostic storage account. So click on create new and give it a name. My storage okay, and leave the other field as default and click on OK. Now click on next. Skip this field and click on next. Tag. Tag is a user defined key value pair which can be placed directly on a resource or resource group. It is used to identify resources, basically for billing purpose, for governance, for security, etc., etc. So in this case, I'm just going to select under a name, environment. And value is something like a pre-production. Okay, now click on review and create. Validation is running. Once it is passed, now click on create. Download key, private key and create resource. Deployment is completed. So now click on go to resource. Here we will find the information regarding our VM. Now, in order to connect with a Linux virtual machine, we need to have a Putty. So download the Putty. Okay, I have already downloaded Putty Gen. Now open your Putty Gen. Now here we will find the complete information regarding our VM, and we need a Putty to connect to our VM. So if you don't have, then download the Putty and download and install, and then open Putty Gen. And load the file my Linux VM key.pam, because we need to convert this to ppk file. Okay, save it. Click on save private key. Yes, give it a name. and click on save. Okay, now close it and open Putty. And over here, give your username that you have given while creating your VM, that is Azure admin. Then add and the IP address, public IP address from here. .20.55.27.170 and copy the entire thing. And click on save. Okay, and then go to SSH, click on auth, blocks, and then this one PPK. Click on yes. Now say I have logged in to my Linux VM. Okay. That's it, guys, for this video.